What is up, Golden Gamers of the universe? Welcome back to another episode of the Pantheon. Today I am joined by Nun and Toph to talk about some of the greatest losers runs of all time. What makes a great losers run? And of course, we're going to be ranking one of them as the top losers run to go into the Pantheon. I know my pick, but we're going to go ahead and look through it and be as fair as possible anyway. So, let's go down the line. Toph, what do you think makes a good losers run?
Let's talk about why losers runs are more impressive in the first place. Well, it turns out there's not that many of them. Like our esteemed content lord Zeke was telling us that in the last 2 years, the only people who have won a major tournament from losers in the first place are Mango, J-Mook, and Hungrybox. Very, very rarely accomplished feat. And I think the reason for that is when you go to losers, you just have to fight twice as many people. Because for the people who don't know about bracketology,
it's a nice word.
If you win around in winners, basically it's like you went forward 2 spots in the bracket. And if you win around in losers, you only go forward 1 spot in the bracket. So, in other words, if you want to win a tournament from losers, depending on where you fall into losers, you probably have to beat basically all of the people that are between you and getting first place. Some of these losers runs you're going to see, they had to beat like every single strong player who was in attendance. So it's so much harder to win for that reason.
Facts. True. Based. None.
Based.
Take. What is it?
Everyone loves it the longer they are, right? Yeah, that came out.
Well, I think that depends. Anyway, you were saying?
And the second one would be, the moment the loser, in this case, the person doing the losers run, turns into the winner, Like if they're able to go the distance and take the tournament. That's the moment that, for me, is, up there with them being long.
So let's go ahead. Let's
get into it.
PPMD at Zenith 2012, where he lost to Mutaking, then proceeded to beat J-Man, H-Box, Chudat, and then M2K twice to take the tournament.
Oh my god, I didn't know I forgot about losers.
Yeah, he got me in winners there. And I was very mad. I was going through it at the time. But you know
you guys played early.
Yeah, it was an interesting time for seeding. Now, J-Man admittedly wasn't playing as much at the time. Okay. But Chu did beat H-Box that tournament, which was very rare even then. And then I think he actually went pretty far with M2K. So I think Chu was playing pretty well. I'm giving some context to make it fair, so the people can evaluate.
Here's the thing. Objectively speaking, this is not like a super long list. However, I remember that you made a very crazy adaptation from winners to losers, and I remember you breaking out the Marth against Mewtwo.
I think I used the Marth in winners and lost, and then didn't use them in one, if I remember right. But I think I could.
Oh, then the winners one doesn't count. You didn't lose. Doesn't count.
Yay.
Doesn't count.
This one also blew my mind. I remember this was the first time that I saw a Falco really truly do the proper Shine Down Air combos on FD, where you were doing much longer Shine Down Air combos than the average Falco was doing to Marths at the time.
Yeah.
You still see like Mango and modern Falcos do that kind of stuff.
Oh, the Pioneer.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking. Okay, I will say I actually do have a little bit of soft spot for this run. At the same time, I guess we got to take off points because it's not like, again, it's like you went to losers and winner semis. It's not like a loser's run. It's more like a loser's jog or a loser's
jog.
Jump.
Jog.
You know, like
a
you did
sprint.
like a little jump.
A sprint.
I will add one thing. I've taken away a lot from the run, but I will add one thing back.
Okay.
I had to play on FD twice in one set, even though
fucking Mewtwo.
I'm not gonna elaborate. There were interesting. Like I said, it was an interesting time.
Why didn't Nintendo release that stage to the general public? I don't understand. It should have stayed in beta. It should have stayed behind closed doors.
Regardless, if that gives points, cool. If not, I understand. But there was stage tomfoolery.
Okay, let's put it in the middle for now.
Yeah, we'll just do it like 5.
It's our first one, and then we can evaluate the next ones and say is it better or worse, and kind of drag it around. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Gotta see the competition.
Armada at Smash Summit 2, where he lost to Mewtwo, beat Shroomed, Mango, Mewtwo, and then H-Box twice to take the tournament.
Oh man, Armada did have a great pop-off.
Wait, did PB pop off?
This is the Armada and Ice pop-off, right? Ice like materializes into the room. Ice like spawns into the room, popping off. Like rat, like it was like what? Ice just fucking comes out the cut. Look, like where was Ice? Ice is just there. They're popping off together. Yes. Yeah, I mean, those are all really good players. It's hard to beat HBox twice. Back then, it was really hard to beat HBox twice.
What year was this? Because that matters to me for the Mango part.
I believe it was 2016.
Oh, no.
2016, yeah.
7 years ago. Wow.
Oh wait, actually Mango was
good.
He was doing all right.
That was the tournament where Mango did the combo on Plup.
Oh
Okay,
shit!
okay,
you
so
beat
he's
that
doing-
Mango?
I mean, I think
good.
this is above. I think this is above mine. I mean, I don't really know how much. I mean, I guess M2. I don't know how much M2K was practicing before either of those, but I'm sure he was practicing more before the Smash Summit. And of course, I think Mango was probably practicing more here than HBox was back then. And of course, HBox being the demon that he absolutely was for everyone in that at that time, very hard for everyone to beat. And Armada had to beat him twice. Whereas, like, you know, I was favored against M2K, so I think it's pretty clear to me. Like this run is you know harder.
A little bit better.
You know, so I think there's
Fair.
a lot. I think there's a lot to that. So I think this. I mean, I don't know. I like 4 or 3. You can put it somewhere there, but I think it's pretty good. Pretty good run.
Okay.
Armada at Smash and Splash 4, where he lost to Leffen and then beat Zane, Music King Leffen, and then HBox twice to win the tournament.
Is this the one where HBox did the chair thing? Or was that 5?
5 was the chair thing.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
5 was the one that Wizzy won, where Wizzy did the Bowser thing.
So it was here. This was the one where the chair thing happened.
was-
Oh,
where
where
he
Wizzy did the
breathed-
cowboy
He
pop
breathed
off, right?
flame breath. No, the cowboy was main stage.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, this one was kind of tight
Oh,
too.
this one is violent. Like
this
this,
was,
he is looking
super.
for.
I love Armada pop-ups. They're great.
This was
He's
super
like,
clutch.
I
pop
want
there.
to fight someone. Get up here. It's hard to explain. He just looked
He hugs
violent.
Leffen? Oh my god, Leffen gets in there. This was like after they squashed the beef, I guess. You got to remember, this isn't like today's Zane. This is the Zane
not
that
today's
upset
Zane.
Leffen. I mean, this is good. It's the same. All of these where it's like lose to someone in winter semis and then beat like 3 or 4 people. Like to me, these are all like roughly the same tier, right?
Armada at this point, he was only doing Fox to HBox, right?
Oh yeah, he only tried Peach versus Puff like twice in tournament ever.
Oh, okay.
So he was going Young Link and then he was going Fox. I think the Zane win ends up coming in more valuable here, a little more than the Shroomed win. But how do we evaluate the Leffen versus Mango? That's kind of weird.
That, I mean, it seems similar to the second one, to the previous one. I don't know.
I think these are all similar to. I want to put this at 6.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I think Smash Summit 2 is the highest out of these, and then yours. And frankly, this is I'm strictly going by personal memorability, so it's a lot of bias here. But again, to me, these are all very similar in tier. I think the caliber of the opponents that are getting beaten are similar. It's the same number of people. They're falling to the bracket, are falling at the same place in the bracket. You know, I don't think any of these are objectively more or less impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're kind of similar, but I don't know. I felt like the pop off for the last one was better. So
None
is
is
violent.
none
This
is
is too
doing
violent.
Pop Off Pantheon Part 2.
Yeah.
because this one he looked like he wanted to fight. So if I was, I think I ran away.
Mango at Pound 3, where he lost to Silent Wolf and then beat Mathos,
Number one.
Slig,
Number
Cactuar,
one.
forward,
Yeah.
as in Chudat,
Well,
and MTK
this
twice.
is number 1. So, yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before the video, obviously, because when you think losers runs in Melee, this is the one that comes up. What the people do know is that this happened. I think people know about this. They might not have all seen the video, though, so everyone's going to want to check out on the 62-Bit Hero channel. How Good is Mango? Great video, which outlines the loser
Don't
run
mention
being-
Brawl in the
Don't
comments.
mention. Yeah,
Don't mention Brawl in the
that.
comments. Do not mention Brawl in the comments. So Mango sent to the losers bracket round 1 by Silent Wolf and Link Dittos. And the backstory here is that apparently it was like pretty late, and obviously, you know, like back then tournaments weren't run with the same level of production value as today. So like sometimes tournaments would go till 4 in the morning. So apparently brackets started at like midnight.
And everyone thought M2K was just gonna win anyway. So they're like, oh well, what the heck? Who cares?
Right. And apparently Mango and Silent Wolf and those guys, because they were friends, they were like kind of like, let's just like get out of here. Like this is like they wanted to like go back to wherever they were staying or whatever because it was so late. They played Link Dittos and Silent Wolf 1, and apparently like Silent Wolf and the Washington crew like told Mango like, dude, you gotta try hard. You gotta win this tournament. Like you can't go out like this, even though Silent Wolf just beat him in Link Dittos. So somehow they talked Mango into like try harding through the bracket. This is an old Washington Melee story. Washington Melee claims Mango for this tournament. I just want you guys to know this. Like old school PNW, like old school Washington Melee, like they insist they're the reason Mango tried hard at this tournament, the reason he won. He beat like every good East Coast player in an era where East Coast was considered much better than Melee, and the venue was cheering against him, and Corneria was legal, and he had to beat M2K and Corneria like twice on his.
As in counterpicked him, Green's Fox and laser camped him. If you don't know anything about that, it is so bad for Puff. You die up there like 30 or maybe earlier if you get grabbed on the platform. Like it's
That's
so
sad.
It's
so bad, dude.
And the other thing is Mango wasn't favored to beat any like these people necessarily.
Any of these people.
Like
Yeah,
yes, he
not
beat
necessarily.
M2K in a best of 1 at Evo, but he like after that he had lost to SK92 in a crew battle at Falco. So it was like
Dude.
he just like there were just so many there was so much like surprise about it, and to consistently do that is crazy. And also for people wondering, Cactuar was somewhere around like a top 20 level player at that time. That was his strongest form.
And Mango for this one goes only Puff, right?
Only
He's still
Puff.
a Puff.
Only
Yeah.
Puff.
He's only
yeah.
a Puff. He couldn't really play other characters. And Mathos was a Falco, and so again, he famously didn't like that matchup. But Mathos was one of the best Falcos, and so he did beat a Falco on the way. He's just again so many good players, and he beat them all on the crazy stages.
If Silent Wolf was able to do that to talk Mango into tryharding for that, I'm gonna ask Mango why he never got Silent Wolf as a coach.
On the reads, we were talking about. You remember MySpace friends and how your top 8, you'd rate them, you'd rank them in order.
Yeah.
Mango and Silent Wolf always had each other as MySpace number 1, which Mango was talking about on the reads, and it's really funny. Like he's like I don't know why, but they were like secret best friends. It's really random. They love each other.
It's
now-
number 0. It's in the Pantheon. Like we're doing
Yeah,
Because
it's auto
because
ban,
we're
yeah.
not sure what else you're gonna offer us, but for now, yeah, that's number 1.
Mango's Summit 11, where he lost to Plup and then beat Moki, Ed, IBDW, Plup, HBox, and
Okay,
Zane twice.
this is definitely up there. This one
That's
is
up
definitely
there.
up there.
And this one's more
is
recent
not-
too. Yeah, this one was good. He beat Plup, Moki, IBW, Plup, HBox, Zane twice.
He lost
Moki,
all the way. Yeah,
IBW.
he lost in round 1, right? He literally lost in round 1. So yeah, to me that automatically makes this like pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean this tournament's pretty magical. I don't think it dethrones Pound 3. I think
I don't
Pound 3 is
either.
immortal until I see something else. This has to be number 2.
This is at least top 3 for me.
Am I wrong in thinking he hadn't won a summit yet?
I hadn't won a summit yet. This is the first summit.
Like there are several factors, some of which you guys have already talked about, but
Yeah.
the beating Zane twice on FD with
Oh.
Fox, when everyone said
yeah.
Fox couldn't do anything against Marth,
Yeah.
and he did it on FD twice in a row, and he had to in order to win, and he was
Yep.
down.
Dude, the first set of grads, Zane immediately goes up 2-0 in the first set of grads, and all of us thought it was over.
It's a good finals. It really changed the narrative.
No, this is up there. This is one, I think, because it's crazy. Because he beat
You think this is
Plup,
one?
Moki,
I think it's
IBW, Plup, HBox, and Zane twice.
And none? He did
What?
beat none.
Oh, sorry. It was like pixely. I think the internet.
Well, you had.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
right.
if you had beaten Mango at that point or not, but I know you're super good against Falco and against him. I think you were the first Falcon to do it, if I remember right. So him being able to beat you is definitely impressive for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
To me, it's number 2. To me, it's number 2.
I'm also a tour.
And like,
I gotta say 1 because I was there. For the other one, I wasn't, but for this one, I was there. So I gotta put
okay,
this one.
let's
at
break
1.
the average and put it at 2, I guess.
Mango at Evo 2013, where he lost to Wobbles, beat SFAT, beat Ice, beat PP, beat Armada, beat HBox, and then beat Wobbles twice.
I think this is 1.
None wants like a 5-way tie for number
They
one.
keep going up. You know what I mean? There's like a.
They're better and better. Let's
the
just keep on coming.
staircase in Mario 64, the infinite staircase.
Infinite staircase?
Yeah. And the storyline, this tournament had a lot of story to it. It had a lot
It
going
was,
for
yeah. It
it.
was Evo 2013. Is the first, return of Evo.
Was this the one we got Nintendo to change their minds? That was, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that has to be number 1. That's a W.
Well,
That's a W.
that is a
if
W.
we're talking about how important the tournament is, yeah, this is probably number 1. But if we're talking about Mango's loser run, if Mango beat up the CEO of Nintendo on the way there, then yeah, this would be number 1 for me too, for sure.
Yeah, PP, talk about why you think this was a little bit weird.
Oh man. Okay, we can maybe cut this out or not, but I mean Mango himself has talked about how no one was really prepared to play on the big stage. and everyone like choked really hard. Not him. Honestly, he played phenomenal that day, and I think he thrives in that environment. But everyone else was generally not prepared for it. Maybe Wobbles was, but
How did
everyone
you
else
feel?
was. I don't really think it was the stage. I'll be honest. I think it was just. I beat Armada. I was just happy.
That's
I
true.
beat Armada the day before. I was like, yay! I'm happy
Yeah.
to be here. But yeah, I mean, he said the same thing for Armada and HBox too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that's what knocks it for me. But it's still impressive that Mango went on that run and played and was able to play that well in that environment when he hadn't been on a big stage before. So depending on how you look at it, you could say it's really good because he adapted where no one else did. And if you look at it in terms of like how well everyone around him's playing, then it suffers some IMO. Now, how you wanna rate that is your own personal thing, and I'll just go with whatever you guys want because I don't want to seem biased because I am on this list of people that he beat after all. So I'll let you guys decide, and I'll go with whatever you want.
To me, it's like Wobbles was the one that did the run. Wobbles beat Mango, sent him to losers, and then I think beat Mewtwo HBox.
He beat HBox in winners finals and
Yeah.
beat me before that.
So he beat Mango. So basically, he beat like 3 of the 5 gods, right?
Yeah.
Of the time. To me, it was almost like when grand finals happened, it was Mango versus Wobbles. It was kind of like contrast this with Smash Summit 11, where beating Zane twice is like, oh my god, like Zane had to beat him on FD twice, like all this like mind-boggling feat. And I don't know, I'm gonna say this and people are gonna be like, they're gonna take it the wrong way or whatever, but I'm not saying this as any slight against Wobbles, but I think beating Zane twice with those FD wins, to me, is more impressive than beating Wobbles twice, where it's like, yeah, Wobbles did send him to losers, but I felt like once you could kind of tell, like, oh, Mango's actually playing really hot, and you can hear it in the commentary, like, it started to get commentated as though, okay, Mango's probably going to win this, like, the climactic nature of the ending wasn't quite there, like, Mango started kind of running over Wobbles, which is fine. I mean, Wobbles had an epic tournament, second at a tournament this caliber is ridiculous. But I do think it is wild, and I do think that there is something to be said for how bad Mango. I think Mango played pretty bad on Saturday, like when he almost lost to Axe, and then he did lose to Wobbles, and he really picked himself up and made it happen on Sunday. So I think there's a lot of stories there. I mean, for now, given what we have, I would put it at 3. Again, I still do value where you fell into losers as something that I think matters. So I think this is just a longer losers run, and remember what Nunn said about the length.
Yeah, the longer they are, and then just leave blank. You can let us know in the comments what you would fill that in with.
Yeah, let us know in the
Please.
comments how you finished that sentence.
Mango at Big House 4, where he lost to Mewtwo King, beat Lucky, beat Armada, beat Left, and then beat Mewtwo King twice.
This turn was hype. I remember this.
This one was hype. This one was hype.
This was my
this was
first
great
U.S. tournament, and I was losing it.
Yeah.
Let me see that pop off at the end.
Dude, this is the tournament I played Borp. Yeah, that was this tournament. I had to beat Borp.
Yeah, I think he had a few matches. Oh, it was Brandon.
I love the the hack set was really funny.
So that way was
Is that where he
was
walked up
winner
slowly?
semis? Where was that?
He walked.
This is the one where he walked up slowly, right?
He walked up
Yes.
slowly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why this tournament was hype. This tournament was hype, bro. A lot of shit happened.
That was an exciting tournament. Now God, this one's tough because a lot of these I could step out of them, but this one I just really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I just felt like the outcomes of everything was so uncertain. There were just a lot of surprising things.
I would say that out of all of the opponents he beat along the way, Armada, Leffen, Mewtwo King, and Lucky, I would say that at this time, I had this distinct recollection that, like, Mewtwo King probably wasn't the best out of all those players. Like, Armada and Leffen were probably, quote-unquote, slightly higher-ranked opponents, maybe. But I remember feeling like for Mango specifically,
Yeah.
Just like a
beating
Mango
Mewtwo King,
counter.
he was the Mango counter at that point. He
Yeah.
kept beating Mango,
Yeah.
so
This
it
is a
felt
good
like
one.
like for him, it was kind of like a good final boss kind of moment.
That topic had been going on for a while, I remember.
Yeah, and yes, and their sets were always really fun. So having them in finals was just a great time. And I think even Lucky was, I might be wrong about this, but I think Lucky was able to do better against Mango back then, but maybe Mango was throwing some in that set to make it more fun. I don't fully remember.
I remember it was a fun set. It was very back
It was
and
fun.
forth.
I knew it was
Yeah.
fun. I just, maybe the other details are a little lost.
This looks like another tournament where I think he lost in winners. He lost in winner side of top 8. Again, it's a great run. Don't get me wrong, but to me, it's not really like a loser's run in the same way that the top 3 are.
Sure, yeah.
Like he won. He lost. He got into top 8 winners.
Yeah.
Like if I'm thinking like a loser's run, it's like
Sure.
you've been sweating in the losers bracket for quite some time.
Right.
So that's the only reason I'm putting it 4. But yeah, it's crazy. So
It's around like the 3-4 area.
I would give it
Feels
4
like-
for Big House 4.
HBox at EVO 2016, where he lost to Plup, beat S2J, beat Mango, beat Plup, and then beat Armada
oh
twice.
my god.
Clutch God.
Oh, this is where
This had the most views of any Evo finals. For
this
us.
is where he did a terrestrial barrel roll.
He did do a terrestrial barrel roll.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He used to do that back then, winning and losing. He did a terrestrial
Really?
barrel roll also. Yeah, when he lost to SFAT, he did a losing best barrel roll. Remember that? SFAT beat him so hard that he rolled around on the ground. It was really weird. That's why people were saying SFAT might never lose to HBox again, and then he literally lost like the next time they played.
None wants to rank all. None wants to do pop-offs by himself. None. He's like, please. I was born for this. He's like,
That sounds badass.
Tournament runs, who cares? Pop-offs, yes sir.
Rolling on the ground specifically.
It's because
yeah.
barrel rolls, you don't really expect that after a set, you know what I
don't.
mean? Like, you expect the controller spike or, pop off, but,
Yep.
like, getting on the floor and doing action, that's like,
Doing
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like crouch
It's like a
casting,
video
kind
game.
of.
He
Yeah.
follows the
Yeah,
prompt.
it's like
man.
Solid
He was-
Snake. It's like Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear. You have to roll around. Stealthily.
The Mango set, I think, is. So narratively, for HBox, this was important because this helped HBox like on his path to becoming Clutch God and
Yeah.
reinforced his stuff with Crunch.
Because I think after this, he kind of just started winning all the time, right?
Yes.
For a while.
So narratively, this was important.
And I will say the bracket reset itself specifically was extremely cool, actually.
No, yeah, all grand finals, it was sick. It was great play.
Yeah.
I go back and watch it every now and then. It was great.
Reversing Plup, who did beat him with Sheik, still really cool. And then beating Mango, who really wanted the three-peat, incredibly important, because Mango was still, I think, playing pretty good at the time. And then beating Armada, of course, who is Armada. I think there are some really important wins there, and I think for HBox not being favored, that probably bumps him up actually, because like I was talking about, like for me not being favored, I think was a big part of why I like the Pound 3 run so much. That probably bumps it up for me. Now where it goes, I'll
Armada
leave
was
it to
number
you.
1 at the time, right?
Yeah, I think by that time he was.
I think it should be number 4, but Big House 4 is there, so that's not poetic.
We're changing HBox's legacy because we want 4 and 4 to be together. Leave a like if you agree with our methodology, and we are very fair and unbiased here at GG Melee.
HBox at GTX 2017, where he lost to Mutaking, beat Plup, beat SFAT, beat Mutaking, and then beat Armada twice to win the tournament.
Oh, GTX 2017? Yeah, this is 7. This is 7, yeah.
This guy is not real,
remember.
man.
Oh my god, he made it back.
He puts him in the vortex, I remember, at
He
the
did a
end.
nair on that platform I really did not like. That was such a choky.
Why is HBox laughing? I never understood this.
Is he laughing?
Yeah, he's like smiling.
He's evil. He's in vampire mode.
An evil terrestrial barrel roller.
Yeah. Oh, he's laughing!
See, he's laughing. See, I remember this one. He puts him in the vortex,
He's
just
like, ah,
there.
you thought.
Yeah, okay. That comeback is crazy. He's like bracing for impact. Look at that. He gets up and he crouch cancels.
Yeah.
Look, go back to the video. See, he's like crouch canceling. See, he's crouch canceling. Boom! He
Pulling
tanks it.
down. Yeah, it would be like a 7. I mean, I wasn't lying. It's around
I
there.
know, yeah.
Losing to M2K is surprising, given this is Clutch God era, but then coming back and then winning and being able to beat Armada twice, very impressive. So it's just kind of it's unusual, and certainly in my recollection of things, it's just another notch in the Clutch Box belt. So it doesn't feel that crazy, but I'm sure if HBox would hear, he would say this was a big deal. It's just kind of weird because I feel like he is generally, besides everyone but Armada, he's more favored. So that causes issues for me as I'm with the
you.
upset factor.
Is this the tournament where Lovage, aka Slippy Online commentator and consultant, beat Leffen? Is this the one?
Same tournament. There you go.
Oh wow.
I had to consult.
To me, this is like 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's had a surprising upset, but then he just wins. So it's like,
PC Chris at Zero Challenge, which I found out about today.
Oh, that one's badass.
Where he lost to Mew King and
badass.
beat Hugs, Vidjo, Dreffen, Ken,
Beating
Chew,
Hugs
and
brings it
MTK
down.
twice.
Wait, what year is this?
2007, which is why I'm about to say what I'm
is
about
this
to say.
OC3?
Dude,
Oh my god, I love this tournament!
First of all, you can't beat Mew King in 2007. And second of all, you definitely can't beat Mew King twice in 2007. That's like an impossible feat. Like,
And with Fox.
and with Fox. No, dude, like, this was, M2K was number 1. There was no question M2K was number 1. Like, this is so crazy.
So what was the deal with PC Chris? Because I wasn't around at the time. Was he just like unorthodox? What was?
So, okay,
it wasn't
PC,
unorthodox.
really quickly. I mean, I think that's a good question because I think a lot of people
It's a
aren't
good
going to
question.
understand why, like, what PC's deal is. He came up really fast. He made a name for himself by beating Ken pretty fast, but then he didn't do as well for a little bit. He was still placing really high, but just not winning. And then his motivation was kind of waning some. And then this is late 2007. MLG isn't around anymore. PC's thing was he was good with actually like a lot of characters. Like he actually had like a competitive level Peach. He actually had a competitive level Falcon. So he was later than a lot of people playing different characters in tournament at a high level, which was he was probably like one of the last people to do that.
He was one of the last people to do it, for sure.
Maybe the last, honestly. Like, beating Hugs is still really good back then because Hugs was, like, I think pretty clearly top 10 or at least around there. Vidjo was really good. Dreffen was really good, capable of beating M2K. Ken, still really good, not as actively practicing, but still really good. Chudat, tournament winning candidate, super good. And then M2K, he beat with Fox. PC said it's the best he's ever played. He was just, like, on one. And like no one beat M2K with Spaceys back then. No one.
Ever.
It just didn't happen.
The reason there's that meme where Mewtwo says that the peak of Melee or whatever was 2007 M2K, there's a reason for that meme. The reason is because he didn't lose. Like, he didn't drop chain grabs. Like, he just killed Spaceys so efficiently. Like, he couldn't lose to Spaceys. And somehow PC actually beat him. Like, this was such an anomaly at the time.
Important to note also, there was FC Diamond in this year, 2007. VODs are lost to time. M2K complains about that all the time. Point being, he played PC Chris in finals, who beat him earlier, and M2K just turned it up and played the best he ever played in his life. And PC just started going Peach on Dreamlight just so he could live longer, just so he could just stay in the game longer. Like that's what kind of monster we're talking about here. PC beat this guy. PC beat him. And he was able to do well on FD, and it was against M2K, who just didn't lose. And this run beat a lot of other good people. This is like clearly like a top 2 run to me.
And if people want to know how good Mewtwo was, like this was the same tournament that had Crazy Return versus East Coast, aka Crazy Return versus Mewtwo. These are all good players.
Some of these are top 10 players. Like a couple of them were top 10. Some of them were like clearly top 100. And M2K just beat the whole crew.
In there.
He beat the whole crew.
M2K sweeps the whole crew. It's hilarious.
By himself, 4 stocks.
By himself.
He's just all Marth, I think. Like, so he's getting counterpicked. Like, it just doesn't matter.
It's hilarious.
That's
PC
what
beat
we're
that
talking about.
Mewtwo.
PC beat him. Like, that is incredible. Like, I mean, that M2K still went to pound 3, and that's part of why Mango's win is so impressive as well.
Exactly.
But if there's any run that I think contested, I think it's this.
Yeah, this is top 3 for sure. I think to me, it's a question of is this better than Smash 7-Eleven? Okay, here's how I'm deciding it. I'm tie-breaking this by saying I agree that beating Mewtwo is probably more impressive beating him twice. But I'm going to say, yes, with Fox. I'm going to say, however, that the rest of the run, I think, is more impressive in Mango's Smash 7-Eleven performance. When you look at Mango's run versus... the OC3, I think is crazy because of how it ended, but I think that the overall performance, like, you know, don't get me wrong, Dreffen, Vidjo, Hugs.
Yeah, this guy's he's
players.
going Chic, Peach, Fox, I saw.
Oh, yeah, no, he went fucking Puff against Hugs. Like, it was really weird. He went all kinds of characters.
What do you think, None?
The thing that's giving me points for PC Chris's run is all those characters. Like, truly, everyone is here. He goes like the whole roster. in that
Everyone
Losers
is here.
run.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true. Everyone is here. Yeah.
And that was a long losers run. That's like 25 people. I mean, yeah, I can't count, but I mean,
You got to decide. None. You're the only person that's in one of these.
You are deciding.
You're in the Mango Losers run. So
I'm
you have to decide.
I'm locked in at PC at number 2, and Toph is
Okay.
locked in at
I'm
PC
locked
at number
in
3.
PC at number 3, Mango at number 2.
I mean, I wasn't there for PC Chris's. I mean, I do think that's badass going different characters, but I mean, beating Hugo brings it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, look, you can.
No,
you
I
can
heard,
evaluate it however you want.
I've heard good things. I've heard like Hugo was like really good.
He
back
was.
then.
He was. I mean, he
He had to
got
go Peach.
he got second at Evo.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll put the one I was at just because that's the bias
Fair
that I
enough.
have because
Fair
I
enough.
was there. Even if I lost, but I was there. You know what I mean? It is a memory that I have.
Welcome, Pound 3 into the Pantheon. Very cool. Good job. Woo!
Very cool.
Like the
Nice.
video if you agree. Comment if you agree or disagree. Do you want more of these? Yay.
Yeah, like
Watch
the
the
video
other videos
even if you
here.
disagree.
Okay, also PP, you know why I did that choice?
Why?
Because OC3 is number 3.
No!
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
I was so invested in your logic. Oh
Well,
no.
now you have the
That's
logic.
just a trivia, a little bit of trivia.
Oh, thank you. I feel so enlightened now. This is what enables you to draw Goombas, and this is why I can't be you.